Forced to work from home by your employer? Laid off or feeling depressed at home? Do you want to make money working from anywhere? We'll show you how to do it from your couch. It's time for another episode of the Work From Home Show. Coming to you from their homes in Austin, Texas and Tampa, Florida, here are your hosts, Adam and Naresh.
Welcome to another episode of the Work From Home Show. This is your host, Adam Schrader, along with our co-host, Naresh Vissa. Naresh, what's going on with you?
So I was told growing up, Adam, I don't know about you, but doctors and healthcare workers, they're recession-proof. Their jobs are always safe. Mm-hmm. Therefore, become a doctor or a healthcare worker.
Fake news.
Well, it made sense. I believed it. And I believed it because I just never thought critically, right? But I can tell you, my wife, our listeners should know, she's a physician at Tampa General Hospital, about 10 minutes from where we live. And her manager, whoever, came in and they basically were like, look, whoever wants to take voluntary leave, it's open right now. Because the number of patients they've had at the hospitals here in Florida have been so bare that the medical groups, the hospitals, they're losing tens of millions of dollars a week, not even a month, a week. Not each individual group. I mean, the total kind of aggregate money that's cash flow that's lost. It's tens of millions of dollars a week. And so they just said, hey, look, the surge is supposed to be coming in May. So whoever wants to take voluntary leave, go ahead and take it. And they had, I think, like 7 or 8 people. Their group is about 20 people. So like 30 to 40% of their group went ahead and took it. And they were like, oh, I'll spend more time with my family and whatever.
My wife's job, they cut them back to they can only work 10 days a month. They told them you could do 3 things. Number 1, you could take a 90-day furlough and get unemployment. Number 2, you could work 10 days a month, but no more. And number 3, you could choose to not do either of those 2 things and be fired. That wasn't their exact wording, but that was the message behind the third option.
Well, for me, it was like, because my wife always checks with me. When anything has to do with money or business, she has no idea what to do. So she asked me. And I've been telling her, even when she got pregnant, before we had our son, I said, hey, I think you should start scaling back and you should only work, take this program that your employer offers. And then when like mid-March rolled around and she was coming home early every day, like really early, like 5 hours early from her job. And she was like, yeah, like there were no patients. I was done by like 9 a.m. And so then I was like, hey, like you need to pick up everyone's shifts and just work the entire month of March and April because you're going to get paid a full-time salary. Well, obviously the free market caught up and her bosses came in and said, all right, we're taking voluntary leave because there's so much overhead that goes into the healthcare industry, into private groups, so much overhead. And they can't survive if they're not meeting their minimum patient requirements for 2 weeks, they won't be able to survive.
The ideas that are coming out in terms of reopening, at least in Texas, and reopening the medical facilities, it's an interesting proposition. They're not going to be able to be fully staffed for a while because I don't know about other states, but in Texas right now, they're saying you have to leave 25% of your beds available for COVID patients. You have to promise to not ask for any federal help with getting PPEs, even in the future, even if there's a COVID spike in the area. And you have to say that you have enough ventilators. It's going to put interesting pressure on facilities who need to reopen to make money, but are fearful of if there is a spike, what's going to happen to their facility.
Well, I'll tell you who is making a killing right now. That's the health insurance companies. I don't know if you saw United Health's latest earnings report.
No, but they probably haven't paid anything out because nobody's going to the doctor.
Exactly. You got it. And I thought this was because somebody sent me a Twitter screenshot of somebody who used to work at a health insurance company talking about United Healthcare's earnings. And I was like, man, this would actually be a great essay on like a final exam of an MBA, an MBA class, because it was just one picture of this guy's thoughts on their earnings. And there's so much that you can talk about just based on that 140 characters. There's so much you could talk about. And like you nailed it. The crux of an entire essay is the healthcare companies aren't paying anything out because there aren't any, not zero, but they keep collecting their monthly healthcare premiums, right? Which are exorbitant to begin with. And then on top of that, they're not paying anything out. So it's great to be in the health insurance industry right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like auto insurers are giving you rebates.
20% off, I think.
Allstate's giving us 15, but yeah, you're getting it. But health insurance, not so much.
Well, the auto insurance companies, they don't have to give it out.
I know, but they are.
Yeah, they are. And so what I'm saying is they're giving it out because so many people called, like I called Geico because they say, a 15-minute phone call can save you 15%. So I was like, let me call them and see if I can save. And so I called them because that's what they say in their commercials. And they said, yeah, we're rolling out a discount program. You're going to get an email about it like in 3 days. So I said, okay. So everybody across the board you didn't need to call up or anything. Everybody got it across the board. But I'm guessing it's because so many payers, they were like, hey, like I'm not driving much anymore. Your insurance fees shouldn't be this high. So Geico's like, okay, we'll give you 15% off, 20% off, whatever across the board.
Well, as soon as one company does it, everybody else has to.
Exactly. Everyone does it, but guess what? They're still making a killing. You might think, I'm saving like $100 a month on my car insurance. Not even, but you might think, it's such a great deal. But you look at their bottom line and it's like their profit margin is still way higher than what it was 3 months ago before all this.
Yeah. It's amazing how many wrecks you don't get into when you drive 100 miles a month instead of a day.
Yeah. Yeah. So same with the health insurance companies. They're absolutely milking what they can right now. And that's a lot of the propaganda that's going around from the people who want to continue to stay locked down because they're enjoying their time at home, getting free money. The healthcare companies that are loving it right now. I mean, they're probably lobbying in DC right now. Hey, yeah, keep the people at home. They need to stay safe, keep them safe.
Yeah, I was telling my wife, actually, I said, if this pandemic doesn't lead us to Medicare for all, it's never going to happen in the United States. I fairly sincerely believe that. I'm not saying you need to agree with me about whether or not we need to have it, but if something like this doesn't create it, then nothing will.
I'll say this, without getting political, whether I agree or disagree. Adam, you understand the business model of healthcare and how this is all working. The average American does not get it. I had a doctor ask me, my friend who sent me this tweet about the United Healthcare and their earnings, this guy's a practicing MD, and he didn't understand why this was happening, and he asked me to explain it to him. Okay? So if MD doctors aren't understanding how the health insurance industry works, I have a hard time believing that the common person is going to get angry enough and call their congressman or whoever and be like, I want Medicare for all.
I don't know.
But right now is a perfect time to get it done. It's absolutely perfect to get it done.
Yeah.
There's no better time.
That's what I was saying. Whether or not you agree with me is a different point, but if it's ever going to be done, the iron is hot. Put it that way. It's ready for striking.
The iron is very hot, but I have not seen on my Facebook timelines, on Google Trends, people, screaming for Medicare for all during this time, simply because they don't get it. They don't understand how the business of healthcare works. Yeah. So, speaking of health, just had to throw in there, Taco Bell, Chipotle, Krispy Kreme, they seem to be doing pretty well compared to the other restaurants. Why do you think, Adam, you're on a roll right now as far as understanding business models. Why do you think they're doing relatively well compared to the restaurant industry as a whole?
Well, first off, their whole business is based on quick. But I can tell you Krispy Kreme is getting a lot of love from the healthcare community because they're giving out free donuts to healthcare workers every Monday.
I think it's an important lesson to learn in working from home and just business in general. And that is, like you said, number one, Taco Bell, Chipotle, Krispy Kreme, they're quick. So they're very quick, they're easy. You go in, you place your order, you're out. Entire process takes 5 minutes. That's number one. Number two, this is a part of marketing that you need to make note of. What they're doing discounted marketing without cutting into their margins. So to Taco Bell, they're giving away these Doritos Locos burritos, or no, tacos, Doritos tacos, and it costs them maybe 3 to 4. No, no, I was gonna say probably 4 cents to make each individual Doritos taco. So yeah, they're losing like 4 cents per person. But guess what? My wife, every time there's a Doritos deal, my wife and I go because it's one per person. So we go and we end up ordering like $15 worth of stuff. So what we went in to get for free, or what we went through the drive-through to get for free, we end up getting 2 Mexican pizzas, 2 bean burritos, 2 7-layer burritos, and
Good God,
you know,
man.
and the average person going in there is doing the same thing. They're not just getting their 2 Doritos. Then they're like, oh yeah, I'll take this drink and I'll take that. And so that's why these companies, McDonald's, Taco Bell, they've been around for a while. They understand marketing and pricing. And I see these mom and pop restaurants still charging retail price for to-go items. And I told a friend of mine who owns a restaurant down the street from here, I said, look, man, the moment you start giving a 20% discount, watch your business skyrocket. Watch it. And so he's going to start implementing it. You would think people, business owners, restaurant owners would
business
know.
savvy.
Yeah. But apparently they're not. And so Chipotle, same thing. They've got these buy one, get one free burritos. So people, they only take online orders. Okay, you apply the buy one, get one free coupon, and then they're ordering queso and guac and all these other things. So good for them. These large chains, they get the marketing because they've been doing it for such a long time and they're around for a reason. These smaller mom and pop shops who could be listening to our show right now, if you are, hello@workfromhomeshow.com, hello@workfromhomeshow.com. Reach out to us. Let us know your thoughts. But this is not a time for you to, like our voiceover says at the beginning, like this is not a time for you to be sad and depressed at home. This is a time for you to innovate and to actually take your business to your restaurant to the next level and to adapt to the current environment.
And this is when you get loyal customers too.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a great point. Absolutely. And you brought up Krispy Kreme. They're doing the same, these healthcare worker days or healthcare appreciation days. So almost all of our business has gone, when I say we've, for like an entire month, we ate at home. And then once people started sending these deals, buy one, get one free, whatever. And we're like, we got so tired of eating at home. We're like, man, we were so desperate. Like we just need something unhealthy outside. And so
I need me a Doritos Loco Taco.
So we've gone to those, 3 or 4 places. That's it. 3 or 4 places within 5 miles of us are offering these deals out of the hundreds of places that are available. It's only 3 or 4 of them. So it's a good marketing lesson for all of you guys. And get on our mailing list, www.workfromhomeshow.com. If you get my book, 50 Shades of Marketing, we talk about in 50 Shades of Marketing, there's an entire chapter. Actually, there are a couple of chapters that talk about pricing and discounts. And so implement these into your own business. What do you have to say, Adam?
I have to say that everything in marketing tells you that very rarely ever hurts to give something away for free. The return on that is astronomical.
Well, we said it 4 cents for the Doritos Locos Taco?
Even if it's a quarter or 50 cents. Look at the goodwill and the brand loyalty that you're creating is worth every penny.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we've been, this episode's been about healthcare. Yeah, we're talking about Taco Bell. That has to do with our health. But the last health-related item I want to talk about, unless you have more, Adam, is we had an episode with Dr. Stephen Hotze. Actually, we had 2 episodes with Dr. Stephen Hotze. They were both 2 of the most listened to episodes we've had on the Work From Home show.
He's a popular guy.
He's not just popular, but he's controversial.
Yeah.
And so it was just, we've gotten emails about those episodes. We've gotten, people have my friends listen to the episodes, my friends who are doctors, the same friends who don't understand how health insurance works. They went after him and they were like, this guy's a quack. He's a scammer and this and that. That's good. We want our episodes to get a lot of listens, but we want people to start thinking about what they hear and to do research and to look them up, to look up the guests and find out their history and all that. So, I bring that up because, look, this is our show, Adam. It's helpful. I hope it's helpful for you, but it's helpful for me too. I'm learning a lot from these guests.
Absolutely.
And even from Dr. Hotze, I've actually implemented his program. Now, I didn't buy his vitamins. His vitamins, I'll admit, are
On the
vastly
pricey side.
they are on the pricey side. Let's just say it's out of my socioeconomic status level. But his program of, look, what you need to be doing is A, preventing the next virus from going viral. But number two, if it does go viral, building up yourself and your system so that you'll be okay. And his program, well, if our listeners recall, it's vitamins A through D, vitamin Z, a probiotic, and then on top of that, I added my own stuff, which is in his books, which he kindly autographed for us and had them delivered to our home addresses. But they're in his book. He didn't talk about on our show, but that's exercising, doing cardio, not smoking, not drinking too much, eating healthy. Like, this all sounds like common sense, but I'll tell you, during this pandemic, I took my cardio to brand new levels. Before, I was like kind of doing cardio. I was kind of getting it, but now it's like every day I got to get my cardio in, and it's like hardcore cardio. And I feel better mentally. In fact, I got blood tested and my cholesterol went down, my blood pressure went down, and I know the only changes that I made to my regular day-to-day were, number one, the cardio. Number two, I started taking vitamins A through D and Z.
Oh, and Taco Bell. Don't forget Taco Bell.
That's
probably what did it.
And look, I still cheat, right? So Taco Bell, Krispy Kreme, those, yeah, I still cheat. I'll admit it. But my numbers have gotten better. And really, I got to thank Dr. Hotze for coming on our show and sharing that plan. And like I said, look, a lot of it sounds like common sense, but people don't do it. They don't do it.
Just because it's common sense doesn't mean it's common practice.
Right. And so I didn't buy his, like I said, his vitamins were too pricey. But I just went to the, just go to Walmart, get your vitamin A, get your vitamin, there are a bunch of get your vitamin B complex, get your vitamin C. There are a couple of vitamin Ds. You can get those, get your zinc. And then on top of that, I also take fish oil and some other vitamins that help with like cholesterol and heart, because that runs on my family.
Do you get any oregano?
You know what? I forgot to go to the store and look for that, but I will. I will bring it and, tell my wife, hey, let's try to put this on things that we make.
Chug some oregano.
And then the exercise, I brought up the cardio, but yeah, don't smoke. We're told that, I think it's now in public school, they start telling kids that, like, don't smoke, it's bad for you.
Good.
But it's not working.
If you're under the age of 35 and you smoke, you're an idiot. I'm going to put that out there right here on the show.
I know a lot of people who smoke. I have a lot of smoker friends.
They're idiots.
Well, it's an addiction. It's not a question.
It is. But it's an addiction that, yeah.
Well, I have a friend. So she got COVID. I tried to get her on the show. So she got the virus. She got the Wuhan virus. Tried to bring her on, but again, she works for one of those huge airlines that's like a mainstream name that got this huge bailout from the government. And of course, they don't allow you to go on a small little podcast that has 18 listeners.
If only we had 19. If only we had 19, they would have let her.
Yeah, well, I was talking to her because she got the virus, and she's a huge smoker. Huge. Like, I want to say that she smokes close to 2 packs a day, if not 2 packs. God. Dude, these smokers, I remember growing up, my friend's dad, like, he used to smoke, like, I'm not joking, like a pack every 4 hours. It's an addiction. So anyway, she got the virus. She's young, really young woman. But she said, and my wife told me this too at the hospital, that the patients who are really, a lot of them are smokers who are coming in and they're having breathing problems. And they're like, I need a cigarette. Like, the cigarette is going to calm me down and help me breathe better. And they're like, no.
That's not how this works, people.
Yeah. So yeah, Dr. Hotze, he's actually, I feel healthier, and I recommend to our listeners, like, what he told us, it was not out of the ordinary. It was pretty natural. I just never did it. And so now I am putting in the mere $20 a month of getting my vitamins and taking care of my body. Because I've seen the other supplement I take is iron, because I am almost vegan. Iron is a huge problem for people who are vegetarian or vegan. So yeah, that's another one. But I actually see the results. I've gotten blood tested. I've seen the results. And so I'm a fan of Dr. Hotze's program. Vitamins A through D plus Z plus exercise plus no smoking, minimal drinking. I'm a fan of the red wine because apparently it's good for the health, for the heart, and brings down cholesterol. And let's see, what else, Adam? Any other tips? I think that's about, like, just doing that. Just see what's going to happen to your health. And I guarantee our listeners, they're not going to do it. I already know.
Our listeners will, all 18 of them.
So
18 people on the go.
Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Hotze, for that great information. It was, you at least changed one person's life. And my kids are going to, as my son gets older, that $20 will probably go up to like $30 a month, which is fine. I think it's worth it to build that immune system, just to be healthy. It's a lot cheaper than not doing anything. And then all of a sudden you need to have a quadruple bypass surgery to fix your heart. Trust me on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, that just about sums up this episode, which mostly dealt with health and healthcare. Thanks for listening to the Work From Home Show. Visit us at www.workfromhomeshow.com. Get on our mailing list, like I said. If you have any feedback, hello@workfromhomeshow.com. We want to hear it all. We want to hear the hate mail. We want to hear how you hated Dr. Hotze. We want to hear about, we just want to hear from you. We got 19 of you, or 18 of you. So we love you guys. We want to hear from you. And till next time, keep on working from home.